Not yet. Okay. Yeah. Okay, members, we are now in open session. When we went into executive session, we was on item 6, Roman numeral 6, 6E. 6E, members. So I'll call on Trustee Kalyani as the chair.
No, she's just giving the chair back to me. Thank you, Madam Chair. So we're still on the amendment after reviewing to strike from the report. Is there any other discussion on the amendment?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead.
Trustee Oguna. Trustee.
I'd like to make a motion to move to table the amendment.
Second.
For an amendment.
Sorry, go ahead.
I second the motion.
So there's a motion to table the amendment and a second. Is there any discussion on the table? Trustee Aquino.
Chair, thank you. May I inquire as to the rationale for tabling?
There will be another motion coming to refer this matter back to the permitted interaction group.
And I think you'll be very pleased with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Roll call vote for the table.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
Excuse.
Trustee Robert Lindsay.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Yes.
Chairperson Machado.
Yes.
7 yes votes, 1 abstention.
Thank you. Trustee Oguna.
Chair, I'd like to move to refer the investigation of the complaints back to the permitted interaction group for review.
I second the motion.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I second the motion.
Thank you, members. So there's a motion to refer this matter back to the permitted interaction group, and it's been seconded. The motion was made by Trustee Ahuna and seconded by Trustee Robert Lindsay. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Ahuisa.
Aye.
Trustee Ahuna.
Yes.
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Aquino.
Abstain.
Trustee Lee.
Aye.
Trustee Cameron. Trustee Robert Lindsay.
Yes.
Trustee Whitehead.
Yes.
Chairperson Machado.
Yes.
7 yes votes, 1 abstention, and 1 exclusion.
Thank you, members.
Okay,
Madam
members.
Chair, I relinquish the chair back to you.
Okay, members, we are now on community concern. We have 2 individuals that signed up. Thomas Miller, if you're still here.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for being patient with us. Please come forward, followed by Kialii Makukau.
How's it?
Aloha.
Aloha.
How's it? I came to talk to you about Campbell Estates and Alexander and Baldwin. And for the start, Alexander and Baldwin, because I'm trying to save the old race, get the raceway park going again. At the time when the track closed, John Waihee went through extended lengths to shut down the feedlot down in Campbell Industrial Park. And at that time, those guys, they abandoned that and went back to the that parcel 9 where OMAC was trying to build this fabulous out-of-state racing facility. What was in conjunction with the old raceway park. And one of the things with losing the land, Jimmy Pfluger had a thing where, hey, I'm gonna give Campbell Estates this property. And when you guys wanna sell it, you need to have another facility available for the racers. So John Waihee, the governor at the time, went and had those guys at the villa kicked out so they could put the track over there. And then Campbell Estates said, Campbell Estates was to have a facility. So the people that bought the land from the racetrack was Iron Gates Development. That's the guys that was building the Trump Tower. And then these guys, when they bought the land, Iron Gates Development builds all these places all over the United States. And at this one particular place, they changed their name to Iron Gates Development Motorsports Center. And these guys built all these industrial things without that. So I asked Campbell Estates, how come you guys did that? How come you guys sold the land to those guys when they didn't build a racetrack? And so Alexander and Baldwin steps in. These guys are losing They can't pay the loan. And so what they do is Alexander and Baldwin steps in and buys the loan. And they say, hey, this business thing goes and says, hey, Alexander and buys Hawaii Raceway Park. So they say, hey, Thomas, right on, we go get that track. So I called at Campbell Estate, Alexander and Baldwin. They say, oh no, we just bought the note. Because these guys can't get the money for it. Because if they would have defaulted, the land would have gone back to the racers. They would have a place to race. And so Alexander and Baldwin makes millions off of this. So I asked Alexander and Baldwin, they said, hey, what's going on? What did you guys do? They said, no, we just bought the note. So I asked them, hey, so what is your guys' business? Oh, we're into shopping centers and malls. We're not into community development or anything. So I said, oh, so you guys deal with Caucasians and Asians and you neglect the Kanaka Maoris? Because the Hawaiians need houses. They don't want, I don't think they would care much for malls and shopping centers because it doesn't serve much interest to them. And so I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention about this. And one of the things was with John Waihee and Tommy Inamoto, they couldn't destroy Waihole because Tommy Inamoto was John Waihee's legal guy, he was a money guy or something, and they couldn't destroy Waihole. They needed money, and so they did that deed with Campbell Estates. And so Campbell Estates actually, so I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention about what Campbell Estates is about and what especially Alexandrian is about. They have nothing to do with you guys. The only thing they like about you guys is your land. And then they go and spend the money everywhere else, but where it's actually needed. And because of what they did, the racers lost their track. And now get this guy trying to build this. This guy for 30 years has been trying to do this. They even brought Roland Leong in to destroy racing in Hawaii. I don't know if you heard that name, Roland Leong. He was a top fueler racer in the mainland. And the guys, Doe guys was sponsoring him, Hawaiian Punch. And when Hawaiian Punch sold out, the guys, Procter & Gamble came in and he said, you know what? We're done. We're not going to sponsor you no more. So the state came in and they got this guy Nagasato to bring Roland Leong from the mainland to Hawaii to go and lobby for the tourism authority to give him money to go sponsor a Top Fuel funny car. And that was all a scam to get money so they could get that fantastic racing facility. And so my thing was just to come here and tell you guys what Campbell Estates did, what Alexandrian is about, and the ramifications that it caused the community. Because now there's no place for them racing. This guy wants to build I called Par Hawaii, I said, hey, I called them in, I said, hey, you guys could give this guy land for build. No, we're not. Our land is for oil refineries and nothing else. And so now the guy goes around telling he got an agreement with, but it's a license agreement, not a lease agreement. So he's going around making all these false, misleading things and leaving the racers out. And I was hoping somehow I could talk to one of you people about getting the Department of Land and Resources to renege on that feedlot and get the racetrack put back there, because this guy from 2000, from 93, has been trying to get his own facility for these fantastic race cars and nothing for dirt track or quarter mile, because right now, there's not gonna have a quarter mile track because this guy wants to build his own thing, and he's a Caucasian guy taking from the locals for do his own self-righteousness. And so my most thing was about Campbell Estates and Alexander and Baldwin, but most importantly, Alexander and Baldwin, who they deal with Caucasians and Asians, and they neglect the Kanaka Maoris because they're not into housing, they're into malls and shopping centers.
Thank you,
And
Thomas.
so I hope you guys really look into Alexander and Baldwin and the dastardly deeds they do, because the ramifications are astronomical on the Kanaka Maoris.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you again for your patience and your time.
Sure.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Kiali'i Makika.
Aloha again. Just want to say officially, congratulations to my friend Sylvia. We had met before, that's why. So if my comments earlier were somehow perceived ill will to any individual, and that was not the case. She's a pretty cool cat, and I welcome you on board. My comments, however, are not predicated on the discussion that took place earlier. I had intention to come here and speak directly about the audit. Personally, I myself consider I assume I have a somewhat of a vested interest. When this OHA audit endeavor started, I was here. I've run for candidacy for the trustee seat and whatnot, and attempt to educate myself. I used to come to a lot of meetings with you guys. Know of. I was here when the audit was officially passed, moved, accepted, and there were some changes. Then I was here when the committees took upon the place to plan, direct, and present the audit to the beneficiaries for its acceptance and subsequently board passing. Throughout that time, I have been given testimony as to how, why, what type of audit, and the situations surrounding it. I was giving back circumstances and reasons. I even am on record as appearing before, I think, the board and the RM committee on what they probably some year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, with an auditor presenting written testimony about what potentially could be roadblocks that would affect the audit in particular. And we were given assurances from the RM committee and so forth that those things were not going to be anything viable to worry about. This has been meticulously planned and thought out, and the contract again is with a first-class tiered investigator. Since that time, a considerable amount of time has gone by. A lot of, like I said, RM committee things that I've been told, I don't have necessarily the first hand. I've been looking at the website as far as the minutes and so forth, and extensions have been asked, and extensions, they finally the formal push to get it, I believe, to next month or something. But the troubling point that I have here is that this company, or the firm that you guys hired, they fully come with the intention of what they needed and what they desired. From what we've been seeing in the public, and in most of it probably through hearsay, is that now the documents are not going to be able to be delivered because of a legal technicality. My point is, and I'm not hashing into the case on that, why was not that foreseen earlier or at the beginning of this stage and this matter when it was talked about or discussed? The documents they requested, I think was this number of 30 or so forth, they were examined by even the former administration and so forth, but it seems that from that period of time, which has grown extensively, and then plus then an extension, that's the part where I find disturbing. I'm sure the members of the community are just astounded, because that's where the hearsay and the dissent is going to brew upon, that possibly, and I use a former chair's point in this, is that this audit will be so, I'm trying to remember her words, this audit will be so destructive because it implements certain things that the general public doesn't know. And that's the point where the hearsay that gets labeled in and turned around. So we come to the due process portion of coming to the meetings, asking for assurances, making sure that everything's up and running. And now at the very end, we are going to seem to be hampered with the state auditor versus, OHA versus what is this, what is that. And it seems that my early arguments were downplayed many, many years ago is actually going to in fact happen. This is probably going to be extended into a more period of time, which will probably cost this office more money and time and resources, which you folks obviously could be using for other programs and stuff. So I just wanted to know how it came to this. I myself, my personal capacity, I have been a part of 2 audits in 2 associations that I was a part of, and I represent. They're nowhere the portfolio of the Office of Foreign Affairs, I admit that. But the process itself went through something very similar to what you folks undertaken. So to keep having these unexplained roadblocks put out in front of us, and given the timing of, say, political year coming up, we're coming up on elections, it really seems somewhat, I don't want to say scandalous, but unfortunately, this is a political town, and we were given the assurances that we were going to have a clean reform audit. It's matters presented to the public, and we were going to fix things and put on and get this back on the water. But it doesn't seem that way. It seems that we have purposely put it back into dry dock, and it's going to stay there for quite some time now. And there's no accusations here to one individual or anyone for making that happen. I just wanted to know, as an organization, as a board, how did it come to this? The talent here, when I see the talent and the backgrounds, this shouldn't have happened. This should have been foreseen or picked up many moons ago, if not years ago. But instead, it's only being divulged now that this seriousness has come up, and thus we have to stall and hold on this. So that is my concern. And for
Okay, thank you.
anybody want to address anything as what has been said as to what happened?
If you're in community concerns, they can't engage you.
Okay, thank you. I accept that. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just another point, Kelly. Perhaps you can talk to Sylvia about which audit that you're reflecting on, or you're referring to that we have not been. You can talk to her because we adjourn.
Oh, yeah, just the audit is the CLA audit.
That's coming up in December.
Yes, I'm at that point, but I'm just saying how we got to this point. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Okay, the chair would like to entertain. Is there anybody else that would like to address the board in community concerns? Hearing none, can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Trustee Kaleakaka.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
you
roll
guys.
call vote.
Trustee Almona?
Yes.
Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Kina?
Aye.
Trustee Lee?
Aye.
Trustee Robert Lindsay?
Aye.
Trustee Wahidi?
Yes.
Chairperson Michelle?
Yes, and thank you all for remaining as long as you did. Mahalo.